Again, you are welcome to Forensic Food Detective Channel, where basically we discuss on anything that has to do with food. Today, we'll be talking about ingredients in our food. Do we really know exactly what is in our food? So I think at the end of today, we'll be able to see what are those things in our food, and we'll be able to see the science behind the things that are in our food, that we buy, that we eat, that we give to our children, and to know decision to take, even as we exploit some of these things. In our last episode, we talked about what food is. So we talk about what we expect our food to contain, especially the science behind food. But now let's look at it. When you pick your food to eat, when you buy your shawarma, when you get the breakfast series to give to your children, are you really sure that what you are giving them is only based on the science behind the food? That is basically the carbohydrates, the protein, the lipids, the vitamins, and the minerals. We all agree with me that it is beyond that. So there are some ingredients that are in our food. Some are known to us, and some are not known to us. So I'd like to talk more about those ingredients that may not be known to us. And I will classify this to really term it to be saying as the food additives in our food. Food additives could be classified as they could either be preservatives, they could either be colors. At times, some people call it colorants, some people call it colorings, but what we're saying is something that gives color like a dye, that gives the food. Then we have what we call the stabilizers, we have what we call the emulsifiers that are added to our food. So all these could be classified as food additives. And in the real term, what is really food additive? Food additive is any ingredient that is added to your food, basically for technological purposes, with or without adding any nutrients to the food. As for that, it is outside the basic ingredients in that food. For example, let's take like a country and you find something like minced meat, treated minced meat in between. It has maybe short expiry period, even without in the normal, without freezing, without special old age storage. However, for such products, something has to be added for it to stay for that particular period. So, like we're saying, the basic ingredients in that particular product is flour and the meat, but there may be other things that are added. So what are we trying to say is that food additives, they are not basically in your food, they are not basic ingredients in your food, in those food that we buy, that we eat. Some of this food we may go for further processing at home, or some we may consume them directly without further processing. So number one, we have the preservatives. What's the purpose of preservatives? The preservative is to ensure that the food, will last a longer time, for it to be able to last outside the period, so that you're not just, it's not being produced and it's spoiling. Some may take 1 year, some may take 2 years, some 6 months. Something has been added to make sure that it takes longer than that. In other words, in that farm, it is no longer natural, because we know natural products do not really last long. Then another group of food additives that we'll talk about are the food colors. We see it, where will you find a breakfast series, that you purchase, that you find that particular breakfast series, you may have the strawberry flavor, you have the vanilla flavor, you have the orange flavors, they make sure that the color associated with with strawberry, it is added. And we want to look at it also that at times in situations you may find, the food flavoring also going together, going side by side with the colors. You find, so that takes us to the food flavors, what we call flavoring. What is the whole purpose of adding flavors? It's just to satisfy, let me use that word, to satisfy the taste bud, that it gives us that particular flavor, and that is why we have that. It's just that. Then you have the emulsifiers, to make sure that it's more for the texture and the stabilizers. That is why in any product you could add what you call it, the water and oil together in a particular product. Normally they're supposed to separate, but in this situation, when an emulsifier is added, with stabilizer, it's going to be stable, and you find out it will be, it will increase. I don't want to use too much grammar, like the viscosity, the thickness, everything. And even some of the emulsifiers that we find, have you ever wondered at a time, there are some products that you take, it gives you a full mouth. How will I say it? You feel, the consistency, it will be full in your mouth. You find it with drinks, some drinks, giving that mouth feeling in your mouth. So you find those are the stabilizers and emulsifiers. They are added, and you want to say, oh yes, they keep adding all this. How do we know them? Like in the European Union, the European Food Safety Agency, covering all the European Union, when you pick any of the products, you will see they have what we call the E number. That you always find the letter E. It gives you to know that is how they've been able to assign that particular number. So, and at times in some products, when you pick some products, apart from putting the E number, they still put in brackets what that E number represents. Also, there's a body, there's a world body that governs issue that has to do with food. Rather than having the numbering as E, they have there as INS, International Numbering System. So when you pick some products, you find INS. But mind you, with the letters, you have figures. You may find a product that says E111. When you pick, and if that particular another product, the similar product, has the same particular food additive, they may have INS in it. But the numbering, the number, either it is E or either it's INS, they are the same. So there is no confusion. They are the same. So numbering has been given to all these food additives that I've mentioned. Let's now go about the concern that we have in the food, or concerning food, addition of food additives. We may wonder, we've had, there are two opinions. Oh, you don't take anything that has food additives. Some will say you take, I'd like to say at this point that the world body, even including WHO, Food and Agriculture Organization, they've been able to establish if not for few, what we call acceptable dietary intake, the quantity that our body can take per kg body weight for every additive that has been allowed. And not only that, in whatever product they've allowed these additives, it's not every additive that you can add to any product. There are additives that are specific to different products. At the same time, there are additives that are not allowed in some products. Like, let me give an example. Under the European Union, colors are not allowed in tomato products. Tomato paste, you don't, it's not allowed. However, for products that have been assigned some food additives, I would like to say the world body, under what we call Joint Experts Committee for Food Additives, they keep doing research. They are bodies of researchers. They keep doing research every day to see, the implication of the application of these food additives into the specific foods that are allowed. And they've been able to come up on, what the level should be in the products that are allowed. So this is one assurance, depending on what your thought is about it or what you believe is. So they have assigned the most that are allowed in each of the products. However, we still have people, there are concerns about the use of additives in some of these products. I've seen products in the market where you will write no flavors, no color added, but they didn't say no preservative. No colors, no flavor added, but not saying no preservative. We'll all agree for any product to last long. It's just like taking them from take a product from the natural habitat. You have modified it, to bring out other products. Something must be done. But it is within the allowable limits by Codex. But if you go to the other side of opinions, there are people that have raised concerns about consumption of these food additives because consumers are not able to know to what level they should. Moreover, the products that we buy, the processed products, have not indicated the level that they expect I, or you and I as a consumer, to consume of those particular food additives. So maybe I buy a product A, I buy product B, I buy product C. Maybe you are someone like me that I love to eat, and as I keep eating, am I meeting up to that acceptable dietary intake that has said, that has stated that if I eat according to this, yes, the additive is safe in my body. And that is why the opinion of concern being raised about some of these food additives that do not take, don't take food additives, or some have been associated with the brain tumor. The fearest of it is to say about cancer. Oh, you will know some that are, they make children to be hyperactive. There are some, even they cause allergy, even in people, that people may not really know, even when it is stated, know fully well that our body composition differs. However, the assurance is, whenever you want to buy any of these processed products on shelf, the onus is on you to play your own role well and to be able to see and to think, why am I eating this? Is it helping me to grow? Maintenance. Watch out for food products labeling whenever you buy any product. At this point, I want to say thank you for watching.